You're listening to Language Caster's Learning English Through Football podcast. Hi there, everyone. Welcome to the Learn English Through Football podcast. I'm your host, Damon, and I'm talking to you from a bright, sunny, but cold Tokyo. It is the end of January, so that's no surprise. I imagine it's chilly in London too, where Damien, the other half of the team, is based. Maybe his team's win, Tottenham, in the Europa League last night will warm him up a bit. How about where you are? What's the weather like? And more importantly, how is your favourite team doing? Did they win, lose, or draw this week?
شما دارید گوش میدید به languagecaster.com.
Okay, that message or stinger was in Persian, and we'll be hearing some more languages throughout the show. Test your knowledge of languages and try and guess what languages they are. Here's one to get us started.
Merhaba beyler, ben Türkiye'den Mert. Şu anda Language Caster dinliyorsunuz. Sevgiler.
Right, I just mentioned Damien's team Tottenham and their 3-0 win against Swedish outfit Elfsborg. That means Tottenham qualify for the last 16 knockout round. In this podcast, we will look at phrases that mean to qualify for and different ways to say this in football. Our first phrase is from a Guardian report on the Spurs versus Elfsborg game. It was at least heartwarming for Tottenham to seal their place in the last 16 of the Europa League thanks to 3 academy products. In this sentence, we have the verb phrase to seal a place. Tottenham sealed their place in the last 16. To seal a place in the last 16 is to qualify for the last 16. The place is decided. It is sealed. Let's look at some variations for this phrase. First, we can change the noun place for spot. So, seal a spot in. A little less common is berth. Seal a berth in. We can also choose from a variety of verbs. So, rather than seal a spot in, we can say secure a spot in or clinch a spot in. This last pattern was used in ESPN's report on the Champions League results. One of the only 2 losses was suffered by a Liverpool team that had already clinched a spot in the top 2. So we have a lot of options to talk about qualifying with these words. We can change the noun to secure a place or spot, a berth, or the verb to secure, to seal, to clinch. Remember, we also need to say what the team has qualified for. So Tottenham secured a spot in the last 16 in the Europa League. Liverpool clinched a place in the top 2 of the Champions League stage. Let's move on to a slightly different pattern to mean to qualify for. We'll also use the results from the Champions League final group matches for examples. Perhaps the easiest way to talk about your team qualifying for the next round of a competition is to say, for example, they are through to the last 16. They is, of course, your team, so we have the be verb and through to. PSG are through to the last 16 in the Champions League after Ousmane Dembélé helped the French side to a comfortable 4-1 win over VfB Stuttgart. In this kind of easy win, we can change the verb and use cruise. PSG cruised through to the last 16. For a team that qualified with difficulty, we can use to scrape through. One team that scraped through to the last 16 in the Champions League were Manchester City, who had a nervy win against Club Brugge to secure a place in the knockout stage. Here is ESPN. Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola is not entirely sold on the new Champions League format after his team barely scraped through to the knockout round.
Hello everybody, my name's Omid, I am from Tashkent. I will tell you now, you are listening to languagecaster.com in my Uzbek language. Siz languagecaster.com saytida podcastlarni tinglayapsiz.
Okay, let's move on to the predictions section, and here's Damien with a piece he recorded earlier.
Right, it's time for predictions, and we're going to look at 4 games from the Premier League for next weekend, starting off with in-form Bournemouth hosting top-of-the-table Liverpool. And even though Bournemouth are playing really well, I still think Liverpool will have too much for them, and they'll win this one 2-1 to the Reds. Now, there's a relegation battle at the bottom of the table, of course, between 2 teams who have just beaten my favourite team, Tottenham. That's Everton, and they're at home to Leicester. Now, I don't think Leicester are very good, and Everton, with their new manager, David Moyes, should have too much for them. I think they'll win this one 2-0. And that would be their 3rd win on the bounce, their 3rd win in a row. Now, Arsenal play Manchester City on Sunday in the big game, although really I wonder, are they just playing for 2nd place behind Liverpool? This will finish 2-1 to City. Yeah, City will win this away from home. And finally, on Monday night, a London derby. That's West London against East London as Chelsea take on West Ham. West Ham have done okay recently under their new manager Graham Potter, but Chelsea will be too strong for them, and they're going to win this one 2-1. What do you think is going to happen in those games? Let us know by dropping us a line at admin@languagecaster.com.
Interesting predictions from Damien. Listener, what do you think? I agree with all his result predictions except Bournemouth versus Liverpool, which I think will end up in a draw, maybe 2-2. But as for the other 3 games, yes, I think Everton, Man City and Chelsea will all win.
Right, if you have any questions about language of football or any comments on our podcast, then please contact us via email at admin@languagecaster.com. Come along to our website and check out our football language forum, where you can ask and answer any questions you have on the language around football. And of course, don't forget to come along to our huge glossary of football vocabulary. And we'd love it if you could spread the word about what we're doing here. Give us a like, maybe follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, YouTube and others.
Je luistert naar languagecaster.com.
Brilliant stuff, Damien. Yes, please do contact us, follow us and give us some likes. And thanks for that final message, which was in Dutch. We also heard Persian, Turkish, Hungarian and Uzbek. Thanks for listening today. We looked at phrases meaning to qualify, secure, seal, clinch a place or spot in, as well as be through, cruise through, scrape through. Let us know if you hear these phrases while watching football in any language, of course. Enjoy all the football, and we'll be back early next week with a new football language expression. Ta-ra!
Thanks, everybody. Enjoy all the football this week. Bye-bye.